Hello, hello. Welcome to Portland with Patrick. My name is Patrick Russell, and I'll be your host tonight. This episode is the first in a series of shows that will go into the arts and culture of Portland, Maine. When I first visited Portland 3 years ago, I was absolutely surprised at the amount of culture and excitement in such a small city. There's so much to do here. There's so many things to see and people to meet. And I would like this show to be for you an opportunity to see deeper into the city of Portland and see some of the really exciting things that are happening here. Each week I will have a different guest come on the show, and it could be an artist, it could be a musician. I will have jugglers, performers, anyone that is doing something exciting in the city of Portland. For tonight's show, I have with us a local artist. Her name is Abbeth Russell, and she has a long list of achievements. Beginning in high school, she was the 3-time winner of the Boston Globe Scholastic Art Award, the 2-time winner of the Wang Center Susskind Young at Arts Award, the Massachusetts Art All-State Award. She was awarded attendance to Breadloaf, New England Young Writers Conference, and she received a presidential scholarship to Maine College of Art, where she graduated with honors. She has since gone on to found Protect Portland's creative community, and she has sold and displayed her art in Boston, New York, San Francisco, and all over the state of Maine. And it's a real pleasure to have her on the show tonight. Welcome, Abbeth Russell.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm going to ask you, a few questions about Portland and art and what you're doing here. I'd like to start by asking what mediums do you work in with your artwork?
All right, well, the two mediums I use, or the two main mediums I use, are really different. I use really different from each other. I use acrylic paint, and my acrylic paintings tend to be like, I don't know, when I get my hands on paint, I kind of just like want to like go crazy and make a mess. And lately I've sort of learned to control that by using a power sander. So acrylic paint and power sanders now go like hand in hand for me. And so I just make this like really glossy surface with it, and then like build up the paint, and then every now and then I let myself like go crazy and like throw a little like, I don't know, throw some like energy into it, but I try to restrain that a bit. So that's like one side of like the mediums I use, and the other side is micron pens and like super small like detailed little drawings with micron pens.
Very nice.
So,
where do you get your inspiration from? What drives you to create?
Really, like I get that question when I'm selling stuff sometimes, and people think it's kind of like an easy way out answer when I just say everything, but it's true. It's like everything. Like people just like walking down the street, like seeing like how two colors look next to each other when I'm walking around, like bad days, good days, like everything. I completely like live my art. It's just like I can't like escape being inspired, and I mean I don't want to, but it's just like, yeah.
So tell me some of the projects that you're working on right now. What are you really excited about at the moment?
So excited about what I'm working on right now. I'm doing, and these are the first like major paintings I've done since my senior thesis show, because I did graduate from Mecca pretty recently, and I just built 16 panels, and today I just finished the final sanding of them. They're 16 2-foot by 2-foot panels, and I'm going to do a series called, well, it's tentatively titled The 14 Humors. There's like, it's an ancient Greek form of alchemy called the 4 Humors, and I'm twisting that around and making it really contemporary and really personal, and I'm creating 14 humors that like relate to me, and humors meaning like fluids, not humor like haha.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually finish 14 of them because all of a sudden I have this deadline because I got asked to be in this I got like a solo art show that I'm really excited about. But that's 2 months from now. So all of a sudden this project that I was like, oh, I have like, I'll give myself a deadline. I'll get it done like by this summer, maybe June. All of a sudden I have to do it in 2 months, which is good because I like having deadlines, a deadline that is not flexible at all. But yeah, I'm really excited with these paintings, and this is like one of the first times that I can actually like see these paintings in my head right now, like exactly how I want them to look. I know they won't come out looking exactly how I'm picturing them, but I could just keep talking forever about that. I feel like I'm
going to go to my next question. I have some notes here that I've written down. I'm very organized. Try to be at least. So tell me about Protect Portland's creative community. What is that all about?
Okay, this was a major issue that was going on towards the end of the summer. Well, actually it was happening all summer, but it really like came to a head at the end of the summer or beginning of the fall. And you know, Portland is awesome because for so many reasons, but one of the reasons is that the streets are just full of artists selling stuff all the time. Like other cities I've gone to and sold my art, it's been an issue. Like in Boston, like I've gotten kicked out of places for selling art. In San Francisco, like they called the police on me for selling art. And here, like I got to Portland, I was like, this is great. You can just go out on the street and sell your art. And there's a lot of people that go down and sell by the cruise ships, and there's all different forms of art that are being sold. Now, recently, people have been told that what they're selling isn't art, and that the First Amendment only protects people selling art. So people who make what the city considered to be craft, which included all forms of stuff like people who screen printed t-shirts, people who made wooden spoons, like all different amazing art forms, they were being told that they had to leave, that what they were selling wasn't protected by the First Amendment.
So who is deciding what is and isn't art?
Well, I don't want to throw names out there, so I'm not going to, but there is, I mean, it's a few people like within the city of Portland, like city council, there are people there that were saying that according to case law, what these people were selling wasn't art, but it just got totally like blown. It just got like kind of blown out of proportion and totally skewed, and it just was. You know, people were getting personally insulted, just saying like, "This is my art form. How can you tell me it's not art?"
Yeah, it's very personal to people.
Definitely,
you know, art is something that comes from within.
Yeah, so. And it's really upsetting to be told what you're selling isn't art. So there was an amendment that was proposed to be added to the like city memorandum or whatever. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, but there was a proposed amendment that would limit. That would kind of like put this limitation into writing of what can and can't be sold out on the street. So that's what Protect Portland's creative community was all about. It was just preventing from this really going any further than it already had started to.
So I'm sure a lot of people out there, you know, watching this show maybe would be concerned to hear about something like that. Where would someone go if they wanted to get more information or become involved with the movement?
I would say start out by checking out Protect Portland's creative community. It's a Facebook page, and so go there. You can post on the wall there, or you can even directly like send me a Facebook message, Abbeth Russell, or send me an email. My email is abbeth.art@gmail.com, Abbeth, A-B-B-E-T-H. So I'd be happy to just, I mean, anyone who's concerned about this, no matter what city you're in, because this affects all cities. This doesn't just affect Portland. And, you know, I think we mostly have things under control with it right now, but it's an issue that's like, it happens all over the country for artists. And like I said, like San Francisco is a really awesome place too, but they have such strict limitations. And so if there's someone there in San Francisco who's hearing this and like wants to send me an email and be like, what can I do for my city? Like, I'd love to just talk to them about it. So
definitely. Well, you know, I want to keep me updated on what goes on with that.
Yeah,
it's very
I will,
important
definitely.
For the city, I believe.
Oh yeah.
So tell me, if a lot of young artists, you know, I feel I've been told this growing up, people tell artists that you can't make a living as an artist. It's not a practical career. You should do something more standard, you know, get a business degree or something like that.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone that's a young artist, that's maybe someone in high school trying to figure out what to do with the rest of their life? What's your advice?
I would say, like, if this is something that, like, that you really love doing, like, it's gonna be more work than a 9-to-5 job. You know, it's a like every single moment job, like being an artist, and you know, you might need to get like something part-time here and there, but like if you just like throw yourself into it and just like if you're gonna go to school for art, just like, you know, love every second of it, get everything you can out of it. And if you're not going to school for art, like just love every second of like what you're doing, like teach yourself as much as you possibly can and just like live it completely, and you will make money with it. And like making true art and like just art that's like completely honest, and like don't try to make art that people like and be like, oh, in order to like sell my art, I'm gonna have to like make something that appeals to people. Just like make something that like you love to make, and people can see that, like when they look at a piece of art that you just like put everything into, like they will fall in love with that piece of art, or there will be someone out there who will fall in love with it. And just you can't worry about that, because you're gonna end up if you go to school for something that you don't love to do, you're gonna end up like backtracking, and you're gonna end up wanting to do your art anyway, and you're gonna find a way to make it work no matter what, because it's just a necessity for an artist to live what they do.
That's great advice. Yeah, thank you. So, you know, if someone were coming into Portland for the first time, whether they're traveling from out of town or, you know, maybe from not even that far away, what would be fun to do to be able to immerse yourself in the art scene here? Okay,
well, build your trip around First Friday. Not that First Friday is the only day that Portland's amazing, because that's far from true, but like First Friday, the first Friday of every month is the art walk, and even in like the dead of winter, you'll find people out in the street selling their stuff, and but then like on the warmer days, it's just like this like circus. It's like an art circus all over Portland, and it's just there's people marching on the street with all sorts of like crazy outfits and playing music, and there's artists everywhere, and all the galleries are open, and it's just this huge circus art party thing happening out in the street. But then if you just come to Portland on any random day, let's see, I would say go to hang out in the East End, like just take a walk all the way down Congress Street, because I mean that's my favorite part of Portland, is just the whole stretch of Congress Street, and go up to the East End, go to the amazing magical tea lady who you can tell her any of your ailments and she'll like cure you with a magic potion of tea, and it like really will work. Like she cured me of bronchitis. She's awesome. And then keep going down and go to the public market. Definitely, the public market just has all sorts of amazing stuff and amazing people hanging out all the time. And well, I'd say go to the top of the world, but I'm not going to tell you where it is because you have to find it yourself. I don't want to give that secret away to people who are.
Give it away.
Yeah. And let's see. Go to any of the amazing used bookstores, and just I'd say like the number one thing to do is just talk to people. Just like put yourself in a situation where you're going to be talking to people, because you'll find out that there's just like amazing people here in Portland.
Nice. So Portland has changed a lot in the past couple years. I mean, I've felt it since I've moved here just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, talking to people about Portland even 10 years ago, it was a much different place.
Yeah.
Where do you think it's going? Where do you think Portland's going to be 10, 20, 50 years from now?
I think it's funny because everywhere else that I've ever been, when someone says the city's changed, you always think, oh, it's not as good as it used to be. And I even think that still, like, I talked to this awesome guy named Zoo, and he's another really good artist in Portland. And he was like, yeah, I was here. He talked about being here about 10 years ago, and he left and just recently came back, and he's like, it's so different than it used to be. But and I was like, oh, that's too bad. And he's like, no, it's better.
Yeah.
It's better than it used to be. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, everything that we were like putting into play 10 years ago is like now coming into being. So Portland is getting better, and I really think it's just going to keep getting better. And it's like more people are coming here, and the people that come here are just amazing. Like, and there's just so many artists here, and I know there have been for a long time now, but I feel like it's just going in this direction. I mean, when I first moved here, I like talked about it as being like, I can see Portland turning into sort of the next Greenwich Village, or the Greenwich Village of this decade, century, whatever we're in. And not in the way that it's just like a repeat of that, but just for what Greenwich Village was to that era. Like, I think Portland could become to this era, which is, you know, something entirely different, but something where people, and not just artists like painters, but artists of all forms, people who maybe don't even call themselves artists, but just creative, or just people with great ideas. It's just this huge like merger of all these people. I don't even remember what the question was anymore.
Oh,
but
I don't either.
But Portland's awesome is basically
Yeah,
is basically the
that
point.
was a great
yeah.
a great answer for whatever my question originally was. In 2009, Forbes magazine ranked Portland as the most livable city in America. I definitely feel that it felt more true than any city I've ever been to, at least.
Yeah.
Do you
Yes.
agree? And
Yes.
what makes it that way for you?
I always thought I was like a person who just wanted to like live in a big city. I never thought I'd live in a smaller city, like Portland. But after being here, it's just, I no longer have this feeling like, oh, to be an artist, I have to go to New York. Like, in Portland, it's a really good place to like ride your bike around. Like, you can ride your bike to the beach. Like, no matter what part of Portland you live in, you can ride your bike to the beach within like 15 minutes, probably 20 at the most. And we have like a nice little beach on the East End. I think it's awesome. Some people like to go to like the bigger beaches outside of Portland, but I love the East End beach. Oh, I can swear. In my head I said I fucking love the East End beach, but I can say that out. I fucking love. Oops, I just I love the East End beach. So yeah, you can ride your bike around. You can get from one part to the other so easily. When you make a friend who lives in Portland, you don't have to take like a huge subway ride to meet up with them. You can just like easily walk probably to wherever they live, and there's just like always, it's not lonely. That's the big comparison I'd make with any other city, really. Other cities have just felt so lonely to me, and Portland is not a lonely place. You go out your door and you'll run into a whole bunch of people that you know, but it's not in a suffocating way. It's not like, well, sometimes it's like, oh my God, I'm so sick of seeing this person. But like most of the time, it's just like, oh, cool, I'm seeing all these people I know, but then there's always new people coming in. It's the perfect size. It's like small enough that there's community, big enough that there's, you know, a lot of different people like coming out at all times.
Yeah, it's a great combination of things. Well, you know, we seem to be running a little low on time here. I'd like to give you an opportunity to tell everyone out there, you know, what type of artwork you have for sale and where they would go to find anything that
cool
that you made.
So my website is abbeth.com, abbeth.com, and I have an Etsy page. It's Art by Abbeth is my Etsy page, and on February 3rd, the first Friday of February, I am having an opening of that show that I talked a little bit about, which still doesn't have a name, but it's going to be something to do with something humors, and it's going to be at Art House Frames, down on Pleasant Street. Mm-hmm. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, and you can email me anytime you want also, and then I'll just be out and about selling stuff all the time on the street in Portland, even when it's cold out.
Very nice. Well, Elizabeth, thank you very much. Oh,
sorry. And
no?
Friday, this Friday, Handmade in Belfast is at the Waterfall Art Center. So, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, anything else going on?
No, that's all.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me on the
thank
show. It was very good time talking to you, and thank you for watching. I hope this was informative for you. If you don't live in Portland, I hope part of you feels an urge to at least come check it out. And if you do live in Portland, I hope that this show helps you to immerse yourself even deeper into the creative community here. There's really something amazing going on. Check us out next week to see another local artist or musician or juggler or something, hopefully. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.